Hi guys, hello my dear fellow foreign English speakers and welcome back to Robbie's English Harmony video blog. In this video I'm going to elaborate on a few comments that I got on my last video, which was called There's Always Someone Worse Off Than You. And in this particular video I basically elaborated on the fact that even though you might be feeling very bad about your English fluency at this particular moment in time, you have to bear in mind that there's always someone whose English is even worse than yours. So that fact alone should give you that little bit of extra comfort and extra confidence boost to carry you through the rough patch of your English fluency development, right? Anyhow, I got a comment from a guy called Suleiman, and he says that in the original comment, he says that we can talk to our heart's content, but let's be honest with ourselves, we're still struggling with our English fluency. And to which I responded by saying that earlier in my life, when I was struggling with the fluency myself, at some stage I didn't believe that I was going to be able to speak fluently. I had actually lost all hopes. I thought that I was going to spend the rest of my days as a really struggling English speaker. But look at me now. I can speak fluently. Well, some people might say that I'm not fluent enough, and there's been quite a few trolls like that last year on YouTube telling me that I'm no good as an English teacher and I shouldn't be giving bad advice to my audience and whatnot. And eventually I had to block those people because I was starting to have like serious issues. Seriously, if you get comments like that on a daily basis and you try and reason with those people and you still can't get through to them, the only solution there is to block off those people. Basically, don't associate yourself with such negativity. Anyhow, I responded to Suleiman's comment by saying that you just have to keep going no matter what, because look at me, I can speak fluently now, but years ago I thought that I was gonna never be able to speak fluently. And my persistence is the only thing that carried me through all those years, countless hours of spoken English self-practice. And there you go. And then Suleiman responded again by saying that his main concern is that he doesn't understand why this feeling of, the way he describes it, feeling of deep gloom comes down on me and literally covers me like a blanket when I start to articulate my thoughts, considering that the fact that my vocabulary acquisition is pretty good, I'm bound to get confused. So he doesn't understand why this depression-like feeling when he's trying to speak in English, but he can't. And here's my answer. There's no point in trying to figure out why it happens. There's no point in trying to figure out what you could possibly do in order not to feel that way. The only thing you can do is accept it. It might sound like it's not really a solution. Sure, what's a big deal? Accept it, but it's not going to change anything. Believe me, it is going to change a great deal. The moment you accept the fact that yes, at this particular moment in time, my English is the way it is. And there's not much I can do about it. So I just accept it and I stop struggling. And I suppose we can draw parallels between this kind of situation and when a person is drowning. You know what they say? When you drown and you start freaking out, obviously you're gasping for air, and you're trying to stay above water by all means, and you just start thrashing around with your hands, and that actually makes your drowning process much faster. You drown because of that, because your muscles start spasming, and you can't control your body anymore, and you just start swallowing, not actually swallowing water, but breathing water in your lungs, and that's when you're done. But what they say is you have to remain calm. And I suppose you would have to allow yourself go underwater. Just take the last deep breath, go underwater, stay calm, and then somehow try and surface up and get yourself back to safety with smooth, easy movements or something like that. So I would say that this situation is pretty much the same. The more you work against that depression, that inability to speak in English fluently, the more you kind of try to convince yourself, no, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna break through the ice and emerge as a fluent English speaker again. And it's gonna happen. And why is it not happening? The more you think like that, it's a vicious circle, you know. But you have to accept it. Okay, my English fluency is a bit worse today, or even if it's happening for a number of days, so be it. There's nothing wrong with it. I've had weeks of periods when my English fluency was really bad, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. Just accept it. And just carry on with your daily English fluency improvement routine. Speak with yourself. Take every opportunity there is to speak with other people. Immerse yourself in English. Do what you have to do. But don't be constantly freaking out. Accept it. And you'll realize, my friends, that that is the only smart way to go about it. The moment you accept it and stop struggling, more often than not, your fluency will actually return back to the previous level. And even if it doesn't, you will notice that it's much easier for you to go through that rough patch if you just accept the situation the way it is and tell yourself that there's actually nothing wrong with being an English student, English learner, whatever you want to refer to yourself, and speaking a bit worse than the average foreigner, simply because there's millions of English learners worldwide and you're not the worst of them. Just like I said in the original video, you're not the worst. And don't allow yourself to be judged. It's actually very hard to get judged if you don't judge yourself. Don't be critical of your own English skills. You actually have to think that you're a very good English speaker, no matter how badly you perform. Because after all, your native language is your mother's tongue, obviously, and then you've been learning the English language, and that's your second language. And I would say that, not percentage-wise, not that many, say, native English speakers can take great pride in speaking a second language at the same level as you can speak English, right? So if you look at the whole thing from this perspective, you can actually start feeling quite good about yourself, you know? So what I would say is just accept it, ignore any negative feelings, don't allow yourself being judged, and don't judge yourself. First of all, that's a good starting point. And just keep working on your English. And then a few years down the line, when you look back, you won't believe the difference between the way you are now and then, provided that you've been working on your fluency on a constant basis, you know? So acceptance of the fact that you're struggling is a great part of the overall English fluency development that you have to observe in your daily life, right? In order to become a truly fluent English speaker down the line. Thanks for watching this video, my friends. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below, and chat to you soon. Bye bye.